All right, thanks, guys. I said it in my earlier video, and I'll say it again. We improved to 2-0 yesterday in our last two daily best play premium sports picks on patreon.com/BrockPage. And of course, that's a website that I operate that gives you premium daily sports picks beginning at just $1.99 through the end of the month. We're also 4-1 straight up in our last 5 Underdog tier package plays as well. Good for 80% in that span as well. And the good news is this. We have another Underdog tier package play going off today. It goes off at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you still have a little bit of time, but don't wait too long if you want to get in on it. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. But before we go ahead and move on, let's go ahead and take a look at some Belarusian Vysshaya Liga soccer action. And we're going to start with FC Minsk taking on Torpedo Belarus Jodino in a 7 a.m. Eastern start time. FC Minsk are the plus money favorite at plus $1.65 and the total at 2, heavily juiced to the over. Right now the draw is plus 210. And if you like Jodino in an upset, they're plus 195 on the money line and minus 150 catching the half goal. And speaking of Jodino, they've lost just 1 out of their last 6 contests. Matter of fact, their last 3 victories all came by way of shutout. And when you think about it, the story of this Jodino squad thus far in the year has been defense. They've shut out their opponent in 5 out of their last 6 outings. They've also given up just 2 goals in their last 6 as well. They've beaten the likes of Energetic, Belshina, and Shakhtar thus far in the season. Jodino's currently in 4th place in the 16-team Vysshaya Liga and is just 2 points behind first place FK Slutsk in the division. They also lead the entire division in goals allowed with just 2. Meanwhile, on the other side, FC Minsk has dropped 3 out of their last 4 matches, including an embarrassing 3-0 shutout to Bate Borisov. Even worse, all 3 of those defeats came by way of shutout. FC Minsk has scored just 3 goals in their last 4 matches. Minsk has also allowed 10 goals on the season, which already ranks dead last in Vysshaya Liga in that category. Now, total-wise, just 1 out of FC Minsk's last 3 actually stayed under the total of 2 goals. Even better for over-bettors, just 1 out of FC Minsk's last 6 stayed under that number as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, just 2 out of Jodino's last 4 stayed under that total themselves. This should be a great matchup here, folks. But with all that said and done, I got to lean toward the dog in this spot here. Give me Torpedo Belarus Jodino catching the half goal and getting the job done for some goal line cash and the over 2 goals in that spot. And with that said and done, just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to the show. Got some lines and purslines out for Saturday's Belarusian Vysshaya Liga action. Happy Saturday to you. Actually, it's Friday right now, but happy Friday to you. Happy Saturday to you. Hopefully you're having a good weekend. But before we go ahead and move on with the program, I just want to quickly remind you, once again, to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage, where once again, we improved to 2-0 in our last 2 daily best play premium picks on that website yesterday. We're also 4-1 in our last 5 Underdog tier package plays on that site as well. Good for 80% in that span. And like I said earlier, we have another Underdog tier package play going off today. As a matter of fact, it's going off at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that is a very good package for us right now. Now, we do daily premium sports picks on that Patreon website, beginning at just $1.99 through the end of the month. We also have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. Currently, we have well over 575 members signed up and active on that page. Now, you might be wondering, why would all those folks sign up to receive Patreon picks where they can get them right here for free on YouTube? And that's certainly a great point, a great concern. But there is a big problem with me handicapping every single game that's on the board, side and total. And the problem is this. If you were going to go ahead and decide to, make a decision to bet every single game that's on the board that I put out here on YouTube, side and total, well, you're almost guaranteeing yourself failure. And I know that sounds crazy. I know that guaranteeing yourself failure is not something you want to do. But, just hear me out. If you're going to bet every single game that's on the slate with your hard-earned money, it's certainly not a winning formula for success. And as a matter of fact, it's a recipe for disaster. The books are way too smart. They're way too sharp. They have a lot more money than you and I do combined to be able to absorb that kind of action. And most important, guys, the math becomes aggressively against you the more and more games you play like that. So what I do on Patreon is I make life a lot easier for you. I break it down and focus in on just 3 to 4 premium selections per day. They're high percentage picks, games that I personally have action on. And I'll tell you this much, my current Patreon record is a whole lot better than it is here on YouTube, handicapping every single game that's on the board, side and total. And the good news is this, if you want to go ahead and check out my current Patreon record, you can do that for free right now. You have access to it. All you have to do is just click the link in the description section below. I'll also include a link in the comment section below as well. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. It's that easy. All right, without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive back into some more free lines and personal leans right here on YouTube. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got Rook Brest taking on Gorodaya in a 9 a.m. start time. Brest is minus 110 on the money line. Totals at 2, juice to the over. And if you think this one will end up in a gridlock, the draw is currently plus 230. Now, Gorodaya is the $3.45 underdog. Very good price point there. They're also minus 115 catching the half goal. And speaking of Gorodaya, they've actually been victorious in 3 out of their last 4 matches, with all those victories coming by way of shutout. Gorodaya has beaten the likes of Energetic, Dynamo Minsk, and Vysshaya during that span. They've also given up just 2 goals in their last 4 contests. When it comes to the standings in Vysshaya Liga, Gorodaya is actually ahead of Rook Brest by a point. And speaking of this 10th place Brest squad, they've scored a measly 2 goals thus far on the season. Scoreless in 4 out of their last 5 matches as well. Brest lost to the likes of Bate Borisov and Energetic BGU. They've also been victorious in just 1 game out of their last 6 matches as well. Now, total-wise, 2 out of Brest's last couple of games stayed under the total of 2 goals. Matter of fact, Brest is 6-0 to the under thus far in the season. They haven't had a multiple goal total yet. Meanwhile, on the other side, 3 out of Gorodaya's last 4 stayed under that number as well. Matter of fact, on the Gorodaya side, all 6 of their outings this season failed to get over 2 goals themselves. So this looks like a pretty nice spot for under bettors here. With all that said and done, I'm actually going to lean toward another underdog here. Give me Gorodaya plus the half goal, getting the job done for some goal line cash, and the under 2 goals in that contest. All right, next and final matchup for the show, it is going to be Dynamo Minsk taking on first place FK Slusk in a 11 a.m. start time. And believe it or not, Dynamo Minsk is the $1.65 favorite, totals 2.5, draws plus 305. And if you like first place Slusk in an upset here, they're currently plus 405 on the money line and plus 105 catching the goal on the goal line. And speaking of Slusk, they're coming off a solid 3-2 victory over Vysshaya in their last outing. They're also currently on a 2-match win streak, including a 2-1 victory over Shakhtar as well. Slusk hasn't lost a game in their last 4 straight and knocked off Izlak 3-2 during that stretch of contest. First place Slusk has scored 12 total goals thus far in the season, which ranks first in Vysshaya Liga. They're also 4 points ahead of 7th place Dynamo Minsk in the standings. And speaking of Dynamo, they've been shut out in 2 out of their last 3 losses. They're currently 3-3 on the season with losses to the likes of Gorodaya, FC Minsk, and Rook Brest during that span. Now, total-wise, Dynamo scored 9 total goals on the season, which is actually tied for second in the rankings in that category. Meanwhile, on the other side, Slusk saw their last 2 straight matches get over the total of 2.5 goals. 3 out of their last 4 also got over that number as well. Should be a fairly decent spot for over bettors in my opinion here. But overall, I'm going to lean toward yet another underdog in this spot here. Give me FK Slusk plus 1, getting the job done on the goal line, and the over 2.5 in that contest. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some shout-outs. Once again, brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage. And first, shout-outs from my Patreon website. Shout out to Dennis McLean, Jeff Kabir, Shane Sports77, Ravi Verma, John Flack, Terrell Parrott, Anthony Ramos, and Jordan Tavella. Next, shout-outs from Instagram. I'm talking about Willie Slade, Stupid NFL Memes, Invictus Sport Trading, Jack Sanders, Alex Hill, Matthew Weninzak, Bokai 90210, and last, Vlad Kovaleski. And finally, we have shout-outs from YouTube. I'm talking about Goodnight Munchie, Liam Harvey, Vernon Morales, Praveen Krish, Calsey, Raw Honey New Orleans, William Boyd, and last but certainly not least, got to give a shout-out to my man, Kevin Taylor. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Friday or Saturday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.